Nick, how did you get me to agree to this?
I just gave you a little bit of wine.
This is what's happening right now. So welcome back to more unsolicited white guy opinions on movies for long, or 1.5 white guys for short. I'm Nathan, your half white guy.
I'm Nick, your one white guy.
Welcome to the podcast where we talk about nonsense. Just general nonsense.
This is neither comedy nor movies. This is nonsense.
This is a movie, technically. Audience, we are doing 2022's hot meme. That's right. We're only 2 years late to the party. Morbius, the living vampire. That's right. He made an appearance in the Spider-Man comics. That's right. And is technically a Spider-Man villain. And now look at him. He has his own movie. He was even teased at the end of the original Blade, but they couldn't put it in because they didn't have a license to yet.
Nope.
I guess. Damn. That would have been good. Why are we doing this?
Well, there's a little movie called Madam Web about to come out. The latest entry in what's called Sony's
shitty universe.
Sony's not Spider-Man universe, essentially.
Yep. What's in that universe, Nick?
All of Spider-Man's villains, but no Spider-Man. This includes the Venom movies and the soon-to-happen Kraven the Hunter movie as well.
They're building a Sinister Six on the side.
Yeah,
this is like a vacation home Sinister Six. They're not really connected, but they are.
A D-list Sinister Six, if you will.
He makes an appearance in the Amazing Spider-Man TV show, 1 or 2 episodes.
I bet that's better than this.
Yes, it is. That's the end of it. Released in 2022. Who directed this? I didn't even write that.
Daniel Espinosa. Famous for?
You tell me. I don't know.
No, I'm kidding.
Nick knows this stuff.
Now, Daniel Espinosa, I've seen a couple of his other movies. Safe House with Denzel and Ryan Reynolds.
Okay.
Child 44, which had Tom Hardy and Noomi Rapace.
Okay.
His most famous one might be this, but before this, it was Life with Jake Gyllenhaal and Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, really?
That Alien ripoff. He's more or less just kind of a studio director at this point.
Just specifically for Sony. Life is Sony, by the way.
Well, there you go.
There you go. It's starring the lead singer of 30 Seconds to Mars as Michael Morbius, the 11th Doctor as Milo, Matt Smith, and Tyrese Gibson as Agent Simone Stroud. What's up, man?
I always forget he's in this.
Thank you for taking a break from the Fast and Furious movies to come do this.
Everybody needs to put some bread on the table.
Yeah. Yeah, what a cast. Well, not really. I know Al Madrigal is one of the other. He's a comedian I like watching. He's the other cop.
Jared Harris is in this. The love interest is, what's her name? Adria Arjona.
Okay.
I believe is her name. Oh, that's really it.
All right, that's it. Nick, would you like to lead us with the IMDB summary for Morbius?
Biochemist Michael Morbius tries to cure himself of a rare blood disease, but he inadvertently infects himself with a form of vampirism instead.
What a backfire, huh?
You can become a vampire.
You can become a vampire.
You just have to inject yourself with the blood of vampire bats?
Of radioactive vampire bats, it seems like. What are the powers of a vampire, Nick? You tell me, what are the powers of a vampire in this movie?
Claiming you have echolocation, but it's not really echolocation. Okay. Being able to move so fast that you create watercolors behind you.
Slow motion for me. Slow motion for me.
An unquenchable thirst for blood.
And fake blood.
And, fake blue blood.
Riboflavin flavored. Non-carbonated.
And you turn very
unsaturated blood.
And you turn into a CGI monster. When did you first see this?
I first saw this, I think with you on our online thing. I think that's the only time I watched it because I said, why would I see this?
I have a confession to make.
Yes.
This may seem like I'm bragging.
Uh-huh.
But it's more something I'm ashamed of.
Okay.
I did not watch this for the podcast. I've seen this enough times to know it pretty well.
Show the people. Show the people. Show what you have.
Got this shit on Blu-ray.
You bought it on Blu-ray.
But for a reason.
Show the people.
For a reason. And here's the reason. I've watched this movie more times than any mortal being should have.
Yes.
I saw this in IMAX. I saw there was like drinking games being made out of it. So I created my own to a degree, and I played it a couple of times with friends.
Okay.
3 times I did this drinking game.
Okay.
First 2 times, fun time.
Yes.
With a couple of friends of mine.
Sure.
And final time I saw this movie, I brought this over to my friend's house, and I'm here to read the drinking game to you out loud. I locked it away in here, never to be used again.
This is too much raw power.
Because the last time I used this, things morbed a little out of hand.
I sound like your stomach morbed whatever was in it out of it. There's a photo somewhere where he's like hanging on a sink. I just remember that.
There's a couple. Drink whenever you're reminded of Batman Begins.
Okay.
Drink anytime you see bats.
Can you say drink like Bela Lugosi when you do it?
Drink wine.
Hey.
Drink anytime someone says Michael. Drink whenever there's slow-mo.
God.
Drink whenever someone dies. Drink whenever someone dances. Take a shot whenever Michael downs a bag of blood. We were sipping stouts and lagers and took about 5 shots of vodka. It was a really good time, and then it wasn't. I killed us all in plain and simple terms. So
everyone died? Everyone died, not just you?
Oh, everyone died. So that's why this got locked away in the Blu-ray, never to be used again. To my friends who I did that to, if you're watching, you want to do the Flash next?
If this becomes like our top 3 episodes, we will do this for you.
You'll do this with me.
I will watch.
Coward.
Fine, I'll do it.
We have a new world to conquer.
I'll do it. We are going to eat beforehand, though. We are going to eat. We're not doing this on empty stomachs.
I'll get you some Taco Bell.
Oh, okay.
I did not need to watch this, though.
Okay.
I've seen this enough times.
Well,
to know that this starts in Costa Rica.
I own an island. Coast of Costa Rica. It's covered with bats. And some
Art
fucking
attractions will capture the imaginations of children.
And some
everywhere.
fucking asshole from an alternative band showed up one day.
Do you not like 30 Seconds to Mars?
I really have no issue. I don't like Jared Leto.
This was so stupid off the bat. They have flown a helicopter there because Michael Morbius is a guy dying from a rare blood disease, which means he's just weak as shit. He has to walk around on crutches everywhere.
His legs are all bendy.
Yeah, but he's a brilliant scientist. He's a genius and whatnot. And I laughed at this because they land the chopper. They're like, hey man, do you need a doctor? It's just like, why would you ask him that after you've flown him all the fucking way out
should we
here?
have brought a doctor along? Yes, you should have.
And it's only there for him to say, I am a doctor.
I am a doctor.
There's your fucking trailer line.
Oh God.
He's there to collect some specimen of an indigenous vampire bat.
Yes.
Essentially. And he lures it out by just like cutting himself open with a rusty bushwhacker. I'm just like, aren't you supposed to be smart?
I will lure the vampire bats by cutting myself and bleeding at the mouth of the cave.
Yeah, it works. What he's trying to do is extract blood from this vampire bat, pulls it out of like a refrigerator or something. So he kept it on ice.
A long time ago, a vampire bat would land on the branch of a tree and get stuck in the sap.
And get caught by Jared Leto.
After a long time. Which is now just Jurassic Park. Welcome back to the game where we, you know what, make an own drinking game for our podcast. Every time we reference Jurassic Park in an episode that has nothing to do with it, drink.
And ever since he was a kid living
in Greece.
In Greece, I guess.
That's where he is actually from in the comics. He's from Greece.
Oh.
It feels a little forced here, but you know.
Well, there you go. Always had this rare blood disease.
Yes.
And which means he should have died forever ago.
Yes.
But he didn't.
Yes.
He's being watched over by Jared Harrison, like this sick kid hospital.
Yes.
Where they're made fun of across the street by the local school boys.
By regular school children, in which case, what a dick. They're like, ha ha, they're sick and dying.
Look at the fucking cripples.
These are Biff Tannen levels of bullies. They're bullies just to be fucking bullies.
They get a new kid there, And he's got the same exact disease as Michael, and they become friends immediately. This kid's name is Lucian, but Michael immediately just nicknames him Milo. Milo, I can't remember why. Who cares?
Milo and Morbius. Milo and Morbius have it's like, oh yeah, I have that blood disease too. Yeah, I like you. Milo's like, great. And passes out and fucking dies in front of him.
He almost does.
He almost dies. He essentially just like passes out and he goes, he just like slumps over like a rag doll from a video game. The heart monitor stops working or whatever. The life support system.
Yeah, the life support thing stops working and he fixes it with a pen.
With a pen cap.
Yeah.
And he's like, Milo, busts it open, fucking fixes it. And then they're like, the man's a genius.
Jared Harris is like, poor Jared Harris.
Yeah.
He's in this. He's just like, that's amazing. You did this. Mm-hmm. I can vouch for you. I know what to do with you. I can send you to a really good school. You can get an awesome education because you're a genius.
You're smart. What about Milo? What about Milo?
He leaves, but he remains friends with Milo because they formed such a brotherly bond because, they're both the same. Michael sends him a letter, and then that letter ends up in the hands of the bullies somehow.
It blows out the window.
And they beat the shit out of Milo.
They beat up Milo.
They beat up a little crippled boy that's smaller than all of them. This does not leave Milo. He is not content with this. He grows up to be a very bitter man, we'll just say. Smash cut 2 years later. He's a brilliant what is he, a surgeon? It says
it in the
biochemist.
He's a IMDB biochemist.
He's a biochemist.
Shout out to Joey.
Hi, Joey. Don't try the vampirism route.
Don't try the vampire thing.
Can you imagine Joey as a vampire?
He would just stay up all night playing video games even longer.
Oh, he's already a vampire.
Yeah, he's already a vampire.
We love you, Joey.
Yeah, good job, Joey.
What he wants to do is like cure this disease he's got, but he also wants to cure it for other people that's got it, especially like this little girl.
He invented artificial blood.
Yeah, to help
riboflavin flavored, non-carbonated, polyunsaturated blood.
This fake blood is essentially used for
Sorry.
For people that have this condition to keep them alive longer.
They're just hanging on by this fake blood.
Yeah. So he is saving lives, essentially. He's doing his best too, but he is determined to find a cure for this disease.
Because it still will kill them. This is just treating them. It's keeping them alive longer, but eventually it'll get to them.
The clock's ticking, yeah. He and Milo are back together. You know, they've been friends for years now. Milo is apparently rich as shit now.
Yes. Like he has tons of money. What did he do? I don't remember.
Who knows? But
okay.
And he's played by, grown up him is played by Matt Smith.
Matt Smith, being done with Doctor Who, being the 11th Doctor.
And being the best thing in this movie.
Yes. At the same time this movie's going on, he would go on to beat Anya Taylor-Joy in Last Night in Soho.
And whore her out. Old Morbius, he's played by Jared Leto.
Yes.
Who already just looks like a vampire. Honestly.
Yeah, he looks pretty gaunt.
Yeah, he looks pretty goth as shit in this. His performance in this is pretty, what would you call it?
He said that in an interview, I read this, that Morbius was easy for him to play because it was the closest to his regular personality. Sounds like he didn't work that hard.
Yeah.
That's just gonna hurt. Really.
I'm gonna hurt you really bad. Wanna harm those pearly whites of yours. Sounds like Jim Carrey.
Yeah, he's
the Joker.
He's
doing Jim Carrey
as the Grinch. Yeah.
With the help of Milo's money, and with the help of his lady doctor friend, sort of maybe love interest, played by Adria Arjona.
Yeah,
they go offshore.
Sure.
Out in international waters to conduct this experiment, just like because we got to have an action scene on a ship or something.
We got to imitate the Demeter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got to do the Dracula thing.
You know what the ship is called? The SS Murnau. FW Murnau.
FW Murnau. Yeah. Yeah. So I was like, oh, it's being FW Murnau.
So they go experiment on him on the ship.
I don't think any of the guards know what's really going on.
No,
either.
They're just mercenaries. They're just kind of dickhead mercenaries. And they lay it on thick that these guys are just assholes, I guess.
Yeah.
So we're not meant to feel bad when he slaughters them all.
Yes.
But it's like, no, we should. Because
they didn't know what were they even signing up for?
Yeah. For money.
Yeah.
That's why.
Money. But my question is, what were they told is happening? They don't even know. No. And also, why do you need them there?
Good question.
It's a good question. Why are they there?
Are any of them sailors or are they all just mercenaries?
Who's driving the
ship? Engine to harbor master. Do you copy?
Drive the boat, please. Someone.
Where's the crew?
all over the place.
And that is what happens. Because it works. It works.
He's cured.
He's cured, but he turns into a CGI monster. He turns into a living vampire.
Yes.
What essentially happens is she injects him in the back, in the spine, where there's a lot of fluids.
Yes.
I'll give it this. They do, I think with CGI or body double, they do make him look really sickly.
Yes.
And then he vamps out. He morbs out.
He's
lack of a better word.
for the first time.
He morbs for the first time and just goes ham on this crew. Lady Doctor gets knocked out.
Yes.
He goes after these guys in very, bloodless PG-13 fashion.
Absolutely. The only blood is in the blood bags in this movie.
That's right. He's cured because when he wakes up and he sees that, oh, my hand's all gross, turns back into a human because he satisfied his thirst for blood.
Mm-hmm. And that keeps him strong.
It keeps him very strong because he stands up and looks in the mirror and he's got a six-pack now.
He's now buff as shit.
He's buff as shit and he's able to walk on his two legs. Here's something that could have been impactful.
Okay.
That would have made the scene better. That would have made the scene actually feel like a scene in a movie.
Okay.
He wakes up.
He gets buff and then runs downstairs and runs up the side of the wall and jumps. And then he's like, I'm going to go to the library. And his uncle should be like, no, I'll go with you. He goes, no, I'll go on my own. He's like, I'm driving you.
Now you're going through some changes, Michael. Now I want you to know.
Then stop pretending to be.
Instead of him waking up, I'm ripped, finds the bodies. Oh no, what have I done? Jumps overboard. What would have been impactful is if he actually took a moment to realize, I'm walking. I can walk. I did it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is the greatest day of my life. Stumbles across a body. What happened? And then he realizes what happens.
I'm afraid in your morbin. You killed them. No, they were alive. I felt it.
That would have been better acting from Jared
I would have
Leto.
loved it.
Because he is very just, he's just asleep at the wheel in this movie.
He really is. Yeah.
But he jumps overboard. He's like, well, fuck this. He immediately goes back to his lab to try to, run tests on himself, figure out what the deal is and everything.
Yes.
And he starts to realize, I can't keep this up without...
His body actually starts going back to how it was.
Yeah, I can't keep this up without blood.
Yes.
Essentially.
Thankfully, he has a bunch of riboflavin flavored, non-carbonated...
Blue blood.
Blue blood.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of Gatorade.
Yeah.
And so he's able to down some of that, and it can keep it in check, but it's not what he really needs.
Well, it's like a half-life thing, right? Where he can only it keeps like every time he downs a bag of blood, he like only gets half the time he did before. So he got 10 hours and then it was like 5 hours and it was less and less each time.
And Milo's discovers him as well, finds out that he's strong now.
Yes.
He is technically cured of this disease at the expense of being a monster.
Yes. Yes.
But Milo, perfectly okay with that.
Yeah.
He says, give it to me.
Give me.
Give it to me. I'm ready for it. Because they were in this together all along.
Yes.
They, like ever since they were kids, he was going to find a cure for this disease for both of them.
Yes.
And Morbius is like, you gotta go.
So you get to be you get to be Dracula and I get to fucking die.
I get to be a scroggly little...
Scrog and I fucking die.
A scroggly little British man and you get to have a six-pack, 30 seconds to Mars.
That's how he sounds.
But again, Matt Smith is actually really good in this.
Yeah, I know. He's doing his best. He's doing really well.
There's one good-ass moment in this movie where they treat it like a horror film. It's the
hallway
it's
thing.
The hallway
That's
scene.
actually the only scary part. I was like, oh my God, what is that?
You want to tell everybody about this?
I just remember the part where, like, who is it? Who's walking down the hallway?
Oh, it's a nurse in the facility that Morbius works at.
Yeah, and she, like, she suspects something's following her. Right? And it's like dark, and then like the light flickers on, it jumps onto the wall or something like that.
So the way this hallway is set up, it's for a movie set piece, obviously. Yeah. This is a horrible way to set up a hospital, honestly, where you walk underneath the lights are all motion senses, but it's such a long hallway that every time you walk under a light, this one comes on, that one comes off, just only one. It's because it's the middle of the night, I guess. But that would scare the hell out of me.
Do not do
to
that.
Be in that kind of
really
hallway.
Scary.
And she turns around because she realizes the light at the end of the hall
has turned on. And
she's like, well, that obviously means someone's down there. Hello? Turns off. Turns back on. And you see something just move really fast, onto the ceiling.
Yes.
Down there. It's actually kind of a cool jump scare.
Yeah, it is. That was the part I remember. Yeah.
She books it. She starts booking it because the light flickering behind her, the lights coming on behind her is getting closer and closer and closer. It might as well be something out of like an alien movie.
Yeah. Dallas, they're all Dallas. It's coming.
The other way, Dallas. She makes it to the light. She turns it on. Oh, all the lights are on. I'm safe. Turns around. Boom.
Yeah.
Like vampire hand on her throat.
Yes.
And there's just this creepy faraway shot of all the lights slowly turning off.
Yes.
And you just see this thing like just like mauling her.
Yes.
Essentially from far away down the hall.
Part.
This is the only part of the movie that's actually like
creepy.
They treated it like a horror film.
Yes.
And it's actually really well shot and well directed.
I remember that one, yeah.
Tyrese, who's as asleep at the wheel in this, is Jared
doesn't
Leto
give
is.
up.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm waiting for the next Fast and Furious. Al Madrigal is like, I'm thinking about my comedy routine.
Yeah. We all need a little extra dough on the side.
Yeah.
Instead of, calling somebody, they just lock him up in a prison.
Yep.
In an orange jumpsuit. Yeah, Milo shows up and he's like, it's okay, I'll get you out of here somehow. But leaves his cane behind when he leaves.
Yes.
Implying that, turns out Milo is now the same as Morbius.
He's a vampire.
So it really is now the adventures of Milo and Morbius.
It's Milo and the adventures of Milo and Morbius.
Morbius breaks out because Milo generously leaves him like real blood. So now he's got his full powers back.
Yes.
And it leads to like probably the only decent action scene in the movie. Because he confronts him on the streets, like he breaks out and he's using his echolocation
to find Milo.
Tractor beam. Are those sharks with frickin' Morbius on their heads? And he uses him to find Milo. And Milo is just, he couldn't be happier that he's a vampire now. He can walk around, he can go to the bars, he can socialize, he can pick up chicks, he can dance.
And all he needs
there's this great
is
moment.
some blood.
There's this great moment where he just starts dancing by himself shirtless.
We're in the apartment, right?
Oh, yeah.
Give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me.
But Milo needs blood, and he's happy to get it from anybody.
He just needs some vampire blood.
Yeah, but he's apparently so bitter about having been treated like shit throughout his whole life for being, having the disease he's had, that he is just up for killing anybody and everybody.
Anybody and everybody.
Anybody who's an asshole to him, he's like, all right, I'll just eat you. Like a newspaper stand guy. It's pretty funny. It's just like, he's evil for the sake of the script, essentially.
I was bullied once,
but I'm not going to take that lying down.
We're not going to take it.
Actually, you are, you cripple. Lie back down. But now he's strong.
Yeah.
Morbius confronts him in the street. It leads to like the only good action scene in the movie where they're fighting in the subway, because this is kind of a cool shot of them like climbing around in like the tube ceiling and stuff. The camera follows them. There's the one good slow-mo shot of them like taking a swing at each other. This movie could look cooler than it actually is. Like there's moments where he does look kind of cool. And even the CGI is pretty shoddy in some moments where like he's like, when the vampires move really fast, they don't, it's the Twilight effect where there's just kind of like a CGI after.
Twilight has more texture than this.
There's kind of like the CGI after effect like attached to like them speeding up really fast. Yeah. But in this, it just kind of looks like watercolors just floating in the air, evaporating.
Yes.
So whatever they're wearing, it's the color of that. Like when he's in the orange jumpsuit, it's all orange when he's flying around.
Yeah.
Remember how like the Death Eaters in the later Harry Potter movies like turn into like those black clouds and like flew around and shit. It looks a lot like that.
Yeah.
But worse. Milo is he's just trying to convince Morbius, be with me, do this with me. We're the few against the many. We've always been in this together and whatnot.
We're Milo and Morbius.
Yeah. This movie has no real story. It's just, I'm bad now. I have to stop a carbon copy of myself.
Yes.
That's evil.
Yes.
And that's, it's superhero movie 101. Morbius eventually gets his lady friend to help him. Milo goes after lady friend. But then they have their climactic fight, and this movie's anticlimactic as fuck because he summons an army of bats to defeat the unhinged Milo, Matt Smith. He stabs him with something, and that makes his vampirism go away, and then he just dies.
So did he solve the fact that he needed blood?
He's just got to live with his Morbin because he just flies away after this.
So what happened? So
I'll tell you what happens.
What?
Michael Keaton shows up.
Yeah, Michael Keaton shows up at the end, right?
As Adrian Toomes from Spider-Man Homecoming. Because
did he fall into like the different universe or something like that?
Yeah, they clumsily try to tie it into Spider-Man No Way Home, where like the sky opened up and people from other universes came through. Mm-hmm. Somehow Michael Keaton has found himself in this one, and he finds out about Morbius gets his Vulture tech somehow, even though he's in an alternate
I guess he
universe.
remakes it, yeah.
And goes to Morbius and says, we should team up. And there's Morbius. There's your movie.
Oh my God. I don't even know what to say about this one.
Is there anything nice you can say about this movie?
That hallway scene.
Matt Smith, for me, I think he is trying his damnedest.
Yeah,
at the very least.
Why do you feel like this has become such a meme? Why is this bad? It has to be bad to become a meme. First of all, like straight off, you can have good stuff become memes. You know, Get quips from The Sopranos and Breaking Bad are used as memes all the time, but that's because it's a fairly dramatic show and people love it. Why is this not good? And then why did it quickly become a meme?
It had to have been so bad that it just brought the internet together as a whole for everybody to just collectively say, no one cares about this. No one liked this. This is such a low effort.
What about the story makes it bad? Like, what is it? What is the whole?
It's just a paper thin, like, superhero 101 story. It's like, I became this. I have these powers. Bad guy is a carbon copy of me. I got to stop him. End of movie. That's it. That's it. There's no real story other than that.
You could do that. People do that well, though. What is it about this?
It's not acted very well. It's not the story. You can tell it's just been reshot and chopped up to shit.
Yeah.
You can tell, like, there's shots from the trailer that aren't even in this.
Yes.
And Sony movies are notorious for that.
Yeah.
I really believe that the It's Morbin Time thing just took off and everybody just had a blast with it because nothing bonds people more than distaste for something.
Yes.
You know? It got really bad reviews. Audiences were just really underwhelmed by it.
Yeah.
Even before it came out, people were making fun of it because they heard so much bad buzz about it.
Yeah.
And also Jared Leto is just the subject of ridicule.
There are paper thin movies, you know, that are just standard superhero movies. I think pretty much the same archetype can be said about Venom, but that has more texture and depth than this.
Personality to it.
Personality. This just feels like
this is dry as shit.
It just feels like it was expected that the story and the plot itself would move everything along, and it's like they had to put in almost no effort with the actors. It's boring. That's just the worst part about it. That's why beyond boring.
That's why you drink during it.
Yes.
You think Jared Leto's a good actor? Have you seen him in anything where you actually thought he was good?
That small bit in Blade Runner 2049.
He's creepy in that.
Yeah. He's all right in that.
He's hilarious in House of Gucci. I never saw Dallas Buyers Club. I know he won the Oscar for it.
Yeah. Oh shit. He is in that. Okay. Fuck it. You know, he did fine. He did well in that. I'm sorry.
Good. Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry. He did really well in that.
Okay.
I like Dallas Buyers Club.
And there's so many moments in this movie where you see he could inject humor into this, and it just falls flat every time.
Yes.
So this whole movie's just. That's the best way to describe it. This whole movie's just flat. What's the worst kind of soda, you know? Soda that comes in a 2-liter bottle that you open and then you leave it in there for a few weeks.
Yes.
It's flat as shit. It doesn't taste good. Even ice can't make it better.
Yeah.
You know? That's Morbius.
Let's go to the facts section. Facts section is real facts about the movie that I've researched and written down about Morbin Time. Nick has never seen these before and he's going to read them for the first time for you. And again, these are real facts with some other stuff included.
Fact number 1. Morbius was released on April 1st, 2022 as the world's most fucked up April Fool's joke. It made $74 million domestically while in theaters, placing it at number 1,170 on the all-time domestic box office list. Some of its competition in the spring of 2022 included The Batman, starring Edward Cullen, Top Gun Maverick, starring less homoerotic undertones. Boo.
Boo. I want my homoerotic overtones.
You want to play with the boys?
Yes.
And finally, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, starring a schizophrenic Nick Cage. You spelled schizophrenic wrong.
Oh, did I? Yeah. Sorry. Yes, it came out on April 1st, 2022.
I remember.
Horrible.
I was there.
Yes, well, we all were. International numbers.
No, I was there.
Oh, no. International numbers. $88 million internationally, total $162 million, but it only had a $75 million budget, so it didn't make that much.
They re-released it.
Really, I know, and it made almost nothing because they thought people would go see it.
Because of Morbin Time.
Try one more time. We'll try. Hey, go.
No, for real
put it out for real this time. We'll go see it.
Fact number 2. Jared Leto was so committed to capturing Michael Morbius's walking gait with a limp, he would reportedly use crutches and limp off camera. This caused problems in production when the actor reportedly took 45-minute treks to the bathroom. There was a compromise reached where Leto agreed to be pushed around in a wheelchair instead. Oh, method acting.
Method acting. Yeah, so apparently that's what he was doing. He took forever to go to the bathroom because he's like, I gotta stay in character. And he's like, oh, fuck, he's got the shits, dude. He's going to take it forever. We're not going to get through this.
Fact number 3. Matt Smith's performance was inspired by another famous vampire in the media, Kiefer Sutherland's performance as David from the 1987 film The Lost Boys. Mm-hmm. Needs more metrosexuality and sweaty shirtless saxophone. You don't like Lost Boys?
No, I never said I didn't. I said you love The Lost Boys.
I love Lost Boys. How about you?
I like it. I don't think I love it as much as you, but I enjoy it.
Oh, I love Lost Boys.
But my point is, he's like, yeah, I wanted to be like Kiefer Sutherland. You know, I want to do that. And I was like, this needs more sweaty saxophone.
I don't see that David comparison, but I can understand why he took inspiration from that. Because Lost Boys is just kind of like a flamboyantly razzle-dazzle movie.
Yeah.
And that's really what his performance is.
He's trying to be like, yeah, look, give him the old razzle-dazzle.
Fact number 4. Jared Leto stated that he envisions many more Morbius movies to come, saying, quote, this is us kind of at that first step forward, and I just think if you look at Wolverine, you look at Batman, you look at a lot of these films, and they evolve over time. You know, there's a relationship that develops there, and who knows? This is a threat, people. Give the 30 seconds to Mars Man whatever he wants, or he'll do it again.
He's saying we should do some more Morbius movies. I was like, oh, this is a fucking threat. This is a veiled threat. He's going to do more.
What if this is a Ouija thing where they did make a sequel to this and it's actually good?
Oh.
Would that just blow everybody's mind?
I would say set the expectations so low. Make a sequel that only goes on TV.
A TV movie,
a made-for-TV movie, Morbius. Yeah,
like not on any streaming service.
No. You have to watch. You have to watch it on TV. See if it's like, this is actually really fucking good. Maybe you should put this in theaters. No,
you lost that chance.
You lost that chance. We released
it twice for you,
and then two assholes tried to get us on a podcast to release it a third time.
Well, who's laughing now?
It's still us. This is the What a Story mark. This is the most interesting fact or funniest fact I found about the movie that I researched, and Nick is going to read it for you and give it between 1 to 5 marks. And again, in the vein of our hero Tommy Wiseau. Ha 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 ha. What a story, Marlo.
I once knew a girl. She had a dozen vampires.
Okay.
One of them found out about it and made her listen to 30 Seconds to Mars on repeat.
She ended up in a hospital on Guerrero Street.
What a story, Mark. On May 25th of 2022, a streaming channel by the name of Morbius 24/7 appeared on Twitch and proceeded to play Morbius for 12 hours straight without paying the proper licensing fees.
Without paying the fees.
With a runtime of an hour and 44 minutes and an average viewership of 2,000 watching in the chat, this costs Sony executives around $250,000. That's right. How do you feel that these poor studio executives could not add another wing onto their mansion due to your piracy of Morbius? You wouldn't download a house.
You wouldn't download a house. You wouldn't download a car.
I remember that.
Pirating films is illegal. Morbius 24/7 played the Morbius movie for over 12 hours. People bootlegged this movie for 12 hours until finally Sony executives were like, shut it down, shut it down. $250,000 you lost them. Do you feel happy? Let me ask you this. Do you feel like if we streamed it for 14 hours, we could have made them lose more money? Those are rookie numbers. Let's get it up to 24. We need to lose these people $500,000. Let's keep pumping those numbers up. Let's cost them more money.
Only 12 hours? How do you live with yourself?
Don't pirate just this movie. Pirate. Nick, how do you feel about this fact?
It's a good one. It's a good one. You get a 3.5 out of 5
3.5.
for this one.
I'll take a 7,
that's
70 out
good.
of 70 out of 100. I'll take it. Do you know what the funniest thing about that commercial is?
What?
They got sued because they pirated the music used in it was stolen music. They couldn't have been, they didn't pay the proper licensing fees.
You wouldn't pirate a song.
You did, but you did.
Because we already did.
But you did.
I gave them some money. In fact, I gave them plenty.
You gave them way too much. You watched it a lot and also got drunk to it.
like he said, people, if this gets a lot of viewership, we'll do it.
We'll do it again.
We'll do it live for you.
We'll film ourselves doing it. I'm not going anywhere that night.
Neither am I. Trust me.
Yes. I'm gonna get the buckets.
What are you talking about? I got to do this at your place.
Oh, shit. They're gonna be like, oh,
Vanessa's going to be like, again? Really? Get the fuck out.
On the TV, just like sitting there, just like, Lord, why?
Mine bit is just like, what is better, this or the Venom movies?
Is that even a question? It's the Venom movies. If I'm gonna pick one, it's got to be the Venom movies. At least that's like entertaining and there's some like texture and fun to it.
Oh yeah, I'm
some,
glad
like,
you admit that there's fun to be had with those.
Yes, they are a little fun.
Okay, good to know. I have no idea what Madam Web's gonna be like. I don't even know if I'll go to the theater for that. Kraven the Hunter got pushed back, much to your chagrin. I know you're really all butthurt about that.
Yeah.
But we should see that at Alamo.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll make a drinking game.
No, y'all gonna die.
Every time Aaron Taylor Johnson doesn't do the Russian accent,
the Alamo staff are like, you guys have to leave. This is the 8th drink tier table.
They turn around, so like, we got to get them out of here. They turn back. Where'd they go? Where'd they go?
I'm the hunter. I'm the hunter. I hunt people.
I'm the Morbius. I'm more people.
I'm more people. Okay, so this is the thing. I've looked back on other ratings I've given movies and been like, dude, I was a little too hard on them. I should probably have given them a little bit more. I probably should have given Hard to Kill a little higher. All due respect. I can't do that. So I just have to punish this movie. This is like a 9. This is a 9 out of 100. This is a 9. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's not good. It's hard to watch unless you're drinking, and it's just boring and forgettable. And the fact is, I can't remember shit about it. That's not good.
That's bad.
That's bad.
9.
I can't remember a goddamn thing about it.
That's single digit worthy, sure.
Yes. What about you?
Me, I cursed myself with this movie, so I'm forced to remember it, like, whenever I think about it.
Yeah.
It's just like, I know everything that happens in this movie, but there are a couple of nice things I can say about it. It's not the worst superhero movie I've seen. It really isn't.
Okay, and what holds that title?
Suicide Squad.
You think Okay.
I would rather watch this than Spider-Man 3. I'm just saying.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I really don't like Spider-Man 3.
I'm going to put some dirt in your eye.
I'm going to morb in your eye. How about that?
Oh, God, that's gross.
This gets like a 37. It's bad, but I've made some great memories with watching.
All right. 9 plus 37 is a 46, which means 23 for Morbius. Morbius is a 23 out of 100.
Very well deserving of it.
Well earned, I feel like.
I get everybody's like hatred and gripes with this movie. It's just it really is just a nothing movie at the end of the day.
Yeah. And, like I said, I cannot change the ratings. I have to just punish the movies that I dislike harder. So if a movie comes in that I hate more than Hard to Kill, you're in line for the chopping block. you're in trouble.
Or Season of the Witch.
Yeah, Season of the Witch. You're in trouble. Let's move on to the last part of the podcast. I actually want to try something new. Something new. People were saying, hey, maybe try something else. I hate your club bit. And I was like, oh, okay. Let me try something new.
Who said that?
A couple people, actually.
No shit.
Maybe one of them's related to me. Little bastard. This is something I thought you might like. I want to try this game. I've seen it around a little bit. This is called Explain a Movie Plot Badly. And something I think you know. So I'm going to explain a movie plot today that I know he's seen. And I'm going to try to explain it badly to you, what the plot is in like a sentence. And if you could get it right, I'll just let you in the club again. If you can't, I guess you don't get it. I don't fucking know. This is a new game. I put the brain in the robot, Billionaire becomes paranoid and is scared of a legal immigrant.
Blue Beetle?
Wow. No. I didn't even see that one.
Can I have another try?
Yes.
Oh. It's Batman versus Superman.
Batman versus Superman. You are correct. Correct, Nick. It is Batman versus Superman. That is right. He is scared of illegal immigrant Superman. You let this one in. You let into the club here. Good job. Good job. Good job. Well,
still better than Morbius.
Still better than Morbius. Thank you for listening and watching to this Morbin episode of the 1.5 White Guys podcast, or more unsolicited white guy opinions on movies for long. Be sure to follow us, rate us, and subscribe to us wherever you get your podcast from, especially on Spotify. And don't forget to follow us on our Instagram at 1.5 White Guys Podcast, on TikTok at 1.5 White Guys, and now on our YouTube at 1.5 White Guys.
And be sure to tell a friend to listen to the podcast where we say we're going to talk about a movie and then we just morb all over the place.
We really just morbed out of our minds here. I have a feeling we could pop that in and dust off that drinking game. What do you think?
It's up to you guys.
If we get enough of a response and this becomes a popular episode, like top 3, we'll do it. If we do, I'll be like, if this enters the top 3 of our episodes, we will do it.
Pretty please.
Oh God.
I want to make this man. I want to get this man all morbed up.
I'm going to be annihilated by the end of it.